This is White Oak Pastures, our family farm in southwest Georgia. We've farmed this land for 150 years. And during that time, 5 generations, we've come full circle from a farming method that was very high in terms of animal welfare, environmental sustainability, fairness, through the industrialization, commoditization, centralization, and back to a farming system that's very high in animal welfare and environmental regenerative practices.
Well, this is a big old steer that's been killed down here at White Oak Pastures. It looks to me like it's some sort of a horned animal. Probably horned Hereford would be my guess from the weight of it. And we're proud owners. We're going to strap it to the front of our vehicle and drive back to Virginia.
The goal here is to provide really high quality food for our customers while healing the land and providing a system for the animals in which they can express their instinctive behavior. The way we farm is not as efficient in the modern sense of the word as industrial farming, but it does lend itself to a much better environment for the animals and to regenerate the damage that's been done to the land. During the time that I've been evolving this farm over the last 20 years, we've moved from 3 full-time employees selling $500,000 worth of live cattle to having 120 employees and selling several $million worth of products. Bringing those talented, smart people here has been a very rewarding. We used to talk about the brain drain in rural America. The A and B students went to town and got good jobs, and the C and D students stayed and ran the farm. And it was true. There was a tremendous amount of that. And we're now bringing really smart, talented, passionate people here, and we're rebuilding our little town of Bluffton. Bluffton had 400 people in 1900. It's below 100 now. And we've made great strides in getting not just the quantity, but the quality of the people there, making improvements.
I visited with a couple of these guys. I know their names from reading over the years, you know, some of the leaders in the business, the Rasmussens. And I could go home now from the things I learned from my neighbor sitting next to me on the bus.
The passion comes from moving away from a system that has a lot of unintended consequences and moving back into a system that's farming more in line with nature. I think that healthy land grows healthy plants, grows healthy animals, feeds healthy people, grows healthy communities.
Day one, so far so good.
There's some areas in here that are pretty significant washes that have eroded over the years, and some of this was before we ever got here too. There's a lot of erosion that occurred here historically, and some of those we're trying to heal by doing some of this better grazing management.
One of the other things we're going to do is actually put in, like you saw in the video, some of the soil moisture sensors in some of the areas like this AOI, this area of interest here, and then some of the spots out in the fields, both the better grazing area and the conventional grazed area, so that we can see, one, if we're building up that soil organic matter, like Dr. Hancock talked about a minute ago, but then does that also relate back to more infiltration? So if we look at the infiltration from the soil moisture sensors and we look at the volume of water coming off, hopefully we get less volume, more infiltration, which then gives us a little bit of a risk management across these better grazing plots over time.
Basically, this field had been treated so well, we didn't have a nitrogen response last year. We grew nearly 180 bushels per acre of corn on this field, organic. with just 2 tons of poultry litter in that cover crop. And even on my no cover, no nitrogen plots, I had, I think the average was 177 bushels per acre. So we're doing it again with no legumes in the system, and I may have pushed it too far the other direction. But we're very interested in testing this calculator, and we've tested it with vegetable systems, with organic grain, with cotton, with no-till soybeans and heavy rye residue cover crops, and we're seeing pretty consistently that the tool will give you a credit that you can reduce your nitrogen for, if that's what the cover crop calls for, and you will not get a yield drag. So the yields are statistically the same. So we're very excited about that, and that is a tool that is available for our farmers to use now, and so we're beta testing it with agents across the state.
It's all Georgia grown, Georgia raised. We carry everything from grass fed, grain finished, pasture raised. We do all our own in-house smoking, curing, everything. I mean, you see we make pate, hog head cheese, sauce, all the way to just simple rollers. And then from there we go in from, we carry prime meat in our counter every day. A lot of things you won't see at a lot of other commercial grocery stores.
What we really like to take pride on is some of the barnwood that you see when you walk in. This barnwood is from a mid-1800s, it's from upstate New York, but it's an English barn that's been reclaimed and re-erected for us here at Farmview, and it's really a spectacle to see how they put these together.
We talked to a lot of farmers. I don't think they realized the scope that we were. Even some vendors, outside vendors, would come in and then once they actually saw what we weren't some little grocery store or a convenience store on a corner. They're like, hey, you know what let's bring in something.